Welcome back. It's time for game number 2 between Team Empire and FlyToMoon here in the StarLadder CIS Qualifiers. The quarterfinals, but it's in a single elimination bracket, so the loser of this will be out. And if FlyToMoon wins this game, then that'll be Team Empire straight off the bat. Maybe not as you would expect, but FlyToMoon, of course, they are comprised of seasoned veterans of the Dota scene. And they pulled out some very solid gameplay in game number 1, able to just slow down the Sven and the Shadow Fiend enough for Team Empire to not really be able to leverage them at all. So we'll see whether they can maybe go for some sort of less greedy draft this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they banned Razor, which is pretty okay, Gyro's left. I assume they're gonna pick Gyro now. Team Empire banning out the Bounty Hunter, which makes a lot of sense since, I mean, they played that Bounty Hunter lineup pretty much to perfection. Just ran them down, utilized that track fully.
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we haven't seen Gyro left in the pool in quite a couple of games now recently.
That's true, and I'm actually curious as, why FlyToMoon is waiting so long for drawing down the clock on at least normal time, because it has been the first pick as well in the last 2 games that they played against Effect and MDL. And these other games that they played before that in a tournament, it's been banned out every single time. So they value that hero just as much as any other team. Yeah,
it is ridiculously strong hero right now. Like, his laning phase is just... He's so hard to pressure. He has like a decent amount of armor and his magic damage, and then later on his physical damage. Like, the hero's everything.
Snap version and Sanking as responses. I like that too. A lot of control later down the line. Here you can do some shenanigans early on with the AA.
What I like about an opening like this, like AA plus Sanking, which I think is an opening that's been like, we've seen it come like from time to time for a long time now. It's just like, you have the potential to blow up anyone because you can't heal through AA and Sanking is a legit stun. It's just a very nice and comfortable opening. And once again we see the Rubik counter to like, I mentioned this yesterday, and it's just it seems like whenever someone picks Sanking, the other team is just like, oh, Rubik, nice stun.
Yeah, certainly not a coincidence at this point. I mean, yeah, it's every single time we've seen that in our games. It's been the case almost.
I think we saw it 2 times yesterday, and now this, like, instantly Rubik. Not even considering, just bam, Rubik.
Yeah. Well.
But of course, Rubik with the null field change, it's quite nice with Gyrocopter. You can make it so that his magic damage does even more, which is, of course, very nice.
Yep.
And we saw yesterday ET and Rubik, which was a really cool combination.
I wouldn't mind seeing stuff like that again, just this very mid-game centric draft. This is where Gyrocopter really shines the most. He still has a bit of a slump later down the line, especially if he doesn't get to farm as much as he needs to. When you make the transition towards more physical damage. And but yeah, before that he's an absolute monster. And as I said, with the Rubik null field, with and combined with a few other heroes that peak during that mid game, add some extra push to the mix, you can close out games very, very quickly. Up against Ancient Apparition Sanking though, it's always a bit dangerous because as far as ultimate combos are concerned, this one's pretty good. Right, you have the Ice Blast,
for sure.
and that Blink Burrow Strike makes it a little bit easier to hit.
It is a very strong combination, and they do ban out the ET here, so they're aware of the combination as well. I want to point out too that I think that, I mean, it doesn't matter, but I think whoever like side has first pick, they're gonna pick Gyro. But I think Gyro is a little bit more enjoyable to play on the Dire side because you have that farming triangle where you can just fully utilize your flag cannon and go ham with the GPM.
Oh, yeah.
That's something that FlyToMoon has going their way here. But Empire, they decided to go anyways.
I mean, we're talking about that here, that interaction in the last game, that Gyrocopter, of course, with all that magic damage, can deal with the Enchantress quite nicely, especially if you have some sort of setup. I mean, that's another aspect of this Rubik, together with the Gyrocopter. You can start the rocket, Rubik with the lift back into it, makes for pretty reliable stun, where the enemy can't necessarily walk away from you in time.
Yeah, it is definitely not like. I think maybe Empire thinks that okay, the reason why it went so poorly last game is because that stuff that happened in the laning stage, like with the pull and all that, he had to use his salve. Let's just redo it, do it right, and destroy this lane. I also think that I'm actually not sure. I'm not an Ange spammer, so I don't know. But maybe he thinks that it's more like easily to own a Jericho than is a Peel, because Peel with his Phantom Rush, like he's just very obnoxious in the lane. I'm not sure, but he seems comfortable with it. So
Yeah. Could also be that they're planning to just send him some support, either in the form of Sand as a 4 position, or something else.
yeah, I think Sanking plus Ange, like that's a very, very scary lane. And one thing they have got going now, that's FlyToMoon. They picked this Rubik, which means they can. I mean, they can put Witch Doctor around and push Rubik as position 4, but that becomes a little bit wonky. And now that they don't have a Witch Doctor or Seam, makes it able for Enge to go the creep build. Like you just take over creeps and own the lane that way.
Yep.
And neither Gyro or Rubik is very good at dealing with that.
10 seconds remaining.
I can see the Beastmaster once again though, so FlyToMoon sticking to what worked at the very least when it comes to Nongrada's hero. And that's that push that we mentioned, right?
Yeah. And Nongrada, like he had a very tough laning stage, but he came back and had a lot of impact, so he seems quite comfortable on this hero. He didn't either just go like, I'm going the same build, Necro build every game, burp, herpa, derp. Like, feels like he kind of considered what to do, and he went the crest, and then he went a halberd and blink. Like he was very open to going something unusual as a Beastmaster, just because maybe his team needed it that game. So that tells me that he's very comfortable on the hero.
Yep. Alright. Dragon Knights. Very safe pick here. The 4th position, so here they can send mid, but he's flexible enough they can also run him in the 1 position, so keeping the options open with having the last pick in this particular draft, but now. Alright. They don't want they want to reward Nongrada for his good performance in the last game, but just giving him an easier time in lane right now, it seems. Keep the light. It's just with the chakra magic, double axes, like you're a Beastmaster expert, right? It's very powerful, isn't it?
It's a super strong lane. And I think what this does, I like this pick for 2 reasons. That first of all, it enables their safe lane to have an easier time, because either Empire is gonna lose their safe lane really hard, or they're gonna put 3 heroes there, which means that Enchantress is not gonna have any support. So they can kind of deal with her as a Derricopter Rubik. Or, they're gonna win their offlane really hard. And as well as the Mana League is really good against Dragon Knight and Enchantress. Like Enchantress, she relies on her movement speed to kind of be able to run around in the fights and be annoying. But of course with Mana League, she doesn't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And Dragon Knight, he doesn't have a big mana pool, so he's also suffering quite a bit of that. So I really like this pick actually.
Yeah. Not to mention the counter push potential here in case Team Empire want to group up. Just spam that Illuminate later down the line. And even more vision game, right? You have the Beastmaster Hawk, and you also have the Cottle who will eventually build up that Aghanim Scepter, depending on how much.
Crazy vision right now.
Yeah.
And of course, the Blinding Light is amazing as Enge and Dragon Knight to some extent, but especially Enge.
Any things that speak for this keeper?
5 seconds remaining.
Empire, well, he's still exploitable, right? If you do manage to catch him with a Sinking Agent Apparition, he's not gonna be able to survive a Burst Strike combo with the Chilling Touch.
Oh, he's super dead, so that is true. He needs to be worried about his positioning. And I do like the Nyx plan here. Nyx is a pretty okay hero against Coddle, because you can rage off the
10 seconds remaining.
mana leak. Yeah. That's the word. And if he blasts you in lane, you can always rage it away. However, Beastmaster's axes go through rage, so they kind of had something going for that anyways. But Life is actually really good against Gyro as well, so it makes sense for sure.
Oh.
Especially with this pick now. And Zeus has, since the beginning of time, been a really big counter to Dragon Knight, because Dragon Knight, you can have all the HP regen armor you want, but it doesn't work against Zeus.
10 seconds remaining.
Not just
And of
the
course-
DK, but also the Enchantress, right? We're just
Yeah.
about to say that, I would imagine.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
exactly. Like he could suffer a lot the laning stage now. Against Storm is not the worst laning for him. He's gonna farm fine, but I mean this Zeus counters Eng and DK mega hard.
Yeah. At the very least, Empire make use of that flexibility of the Dragon Knight that I mentioned earlier. So they put Nyx in the safe lane, have FN on the Storm Spirit matchup against the Iceberg. At the very least, you have I don't have to worry about that spam in the mid lane for DK. But that doesn't mean could also hold his own better than a lot of other heroes in the safe lane up against the Beastmaster pressure, right?
I like this actually because as you just said, like he's not gonna do fine, like but he's gonna be more fine than a lot of heroes. Like
10 seconds.
something
remaining.
like a Jagger or Void or whatever, like they're just gonna
5 seconds remaining.
get harassed out, whereas he's at least he's gonna have his region to work with. But it's all about the Storm Spirit in this game, I feel. Like Ghostic, he needs to have a good lane. He needs to be able to kind of own the lane way more than he did last time. And FN, he needs to have a free game. And because they don't have a massive amount of stuff. They have the Ruby Glyphs and the Beastmaster Roar. Otherwise, it's a pretty free Storm game. But since the nerf of his mana on ulti, I think it was, it's like you're not even that good against like non-stuns because you run out of mana fairly fast. Like it's a lot harder to play Storm now.
Yeah.
That you need to think a lot more about your mana usage.
That's certainly one of these more greedy heroes. Again, it's going to come down to Empire being able to create that space and make sure that FN can farm, get rotated on, doesn't get rolled early on before it can pick up a Lincoln Sphere or something like that.
Yeah. And I really think that I definitely favor FlyToMoon with this draft.
Prepare for battle.
Not an overly like out draft or anything, but I feel like the draft is a little bit easier to play, nicer to play. This Zeus pick is very good, I think.
What's Iceberg's game gonna have to look like here? Like, how much can he afford to just get caught out, or how much does he have to farm?
So his issue in this game is gonna be when Storm hits level 6 and potential rotation from the Empire supports are coming, because Storm is a very good hero at killing Zeus. Because Zeus, like, he's very, very weak if he's being gone on, and Storm Spirit, obviously, he can go on him very easily. So it is a counter, like Storm against Zeus, but it's not easy. If he gets like a use or a Force Staff or something like that, or just has his Rubik or somewhat like nearby, it's not just gonna be an easy kill.
Gonna start playing silent. He was engaging into a right-click battle with Ghostic, baiting them in. While the rest of his team rotates around, Yoko will be able to keep himself alive with the burst strike, but the rocket flying, making that death inevitable. It's just such a sick play.
They didn't want.
Yeah. Well, they'll be able to secure both of these bounty runes. There's no one on the other side right now. So Nyx might just be able to secure both of them down here.
And already we see a difference in Ghostic's build. He went for Enchant, which I think is because, as I mentioned in draft, he meets a Rubik now, not a Witch Doctor or something that can like screw with your creeps. So you can really use the creeps to win the safe lane or the off lane.
Yep.
But yeah, he already gave up a first blood. So and actually, FlyToMoon, they are deciding to just dodge this or put Nongrata and No Fair against it.
Yep. I mean, Beastmaster is also going to die like this. Burst strike, chilling touch damage. Yeah, Ghostic dropping quite low himself. He has no fear. Oh, he's actually gonna get it. Alright. Turns out Enchantress has a super low health pool to a point where even the meager right clicks of the Kotla are enough to put you over the edge.
And
oh, lift on bottom.
Switch lanes.
They tried. Nyx. His TP got cancelled.
Oh, feels fucking awful, man.
Ugh.
Well, I'm sure someone in his Empire is very unhappy that he didn't like TP in Fog, but I don't think Always Wanna Fly showed on that lane. So Nyx was like, hey, Rubik is probably somewhere else, and then, you know, boop.
He was certainly hiding inside the trees. As a result, I mean, what other choice do you have but to just take the long walk of shame, Always Wanna Fly, even just thrashing him out, just giving him a few love taps. Not that it does much up against that Dragon Alert, but it's still something.
We thought walking from base to a lane was walk of shame. This is the real walk of shame.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Not his day today.
Nope.
How's mid lane looking so far? Always Wanna Fly actually sticking around here now, giving a bit of help over to Iceberg.
I would assume that both the sides are gonna farm fairly easily. Like Storm, you can't pick heroes to really destroy Zeus in lane, but they're not necessarily that good against him later on. But Storm instead, he doesn't really own it.
He's dead actually. Oh, is he? Yeah, stick charge not enough.
This is very much similar to the first game, where both Ghosting and Negrala has like really tough starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. My point is that Storm, he doesn't own Zeus in lane, but he has a lot of kill potential on him later on instead.
Yep. Well, for now, they're kind of keeping up with each other in terms of CIS. Iceberg slowly falling a bit behind as they continue to do the same thing up top. Dongrade just TP'd back, and this time with the cold feed even there, proccing after the lockdown, so he will end up dropping twice in a row. And this is the one situation where Keep of the Light doesn't actually help you all that much. He has no defensive utility early on. Ghostic though, on the other hand, yeah.
I mean,
what you just said, I mean, feel free to repeat it, but...
Game 1 all over again.
Mid lane though, that's more interesting. Iceberg. You almost nuke an FN to 0.
Yeah,
Quiet
both
on action.
offlaners are suffering a lot right now. Like, neither is getting any footing in this game.
Both can actually rotate down bottom now to help out Ghostic a little bit, as it would seem. He also has to be careful not to be caught out himself. I mean, Silent, as long as he has enough mana for a combo, or if he just has Always on the fly, setting up for a walk and Rocket Barrage. It's a nice cube melted really fast.
Miposhka and Yoku should move together, and yeah, Yoku TP's down on, because they're so scared together. Like, they're always gonna get the Sankey Sun into the Coldfield proc, and it's just a super scary combination, and they should just play around that.
Yep. Well, there are wards from both sides. He and his bottom lane for a little while longer, so if Yoku were to... Okay. Might be able to find it still here. Silent has 2 stick shots available, not a whole lot. Gets a stick off, but not the Rocket Barrage to do some return damage, so...
Ghostic stuck between creeps.
I was just gonna say, like, if they wanted to rotate it around or to Always Wanna Fly, it was just hanging around in the low ground there. It's not gonna be possible because of the wards, but of course the Silent just hangs around there in lane. That's the much juicier target anyway.
Yeah, that was just well played by Yoku. He TP'd down quite a bit earlier, but the reason they got the kill is because he never showed. Like, so where Silent had most recently seen him was around mid lane, so you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be bottom now. So
yeah.
Nicely done by Yoku. Just not show at all, even after your TP.
Yeah. Some lane swaps again. The Silent used that opportunity to go top. Ghostic and Nyx immediately matching that. Dongrada, not so much as yet. He's taking rounds, farming some jungle creeps. But yeah, this.
He's Silent again.
Indeed. Miposhka is coming in now. Not necessarily spotted by FlyToMoon. Oh my god, they'll find it out now. This is very dangerous. Silent, slowed down to make sure that Coldfield will proc a couple extra right clicks. Should be enough, and it is. A lot of damage being done in return. Ghostic almost being bursted down, but does get the heal off. Yoku, it's gonna be the much more important target, and this is double kill from downtown. Iceberg says, thank you very much, I'll take that extra money.
And that was so close to be a triple kill actually. That was only like 30 or 50 HP on Ghostic left.
There was some arcane rune too, so Iceberg even forces FN back.
Seems good.
That's like...
And then they wanna go and ask me mid now.
Yeah, I want to punish him for transversions, but yeah, it's been holding on quite nicely so far. Even though FN has hit level 6. He's through now though, full mana. That's the danger zone.
Yeah. They tried to do the ball trick there, and then I think if they succeeded, they would have gone for Zeus because he could have just kind of ball up between hits to get some kind of HP pool back. But they failed the trick somehow. I'm not sure why. So they just didn't go for it at all.
Yep. Almost way down bottom though, Yoku. Just burst down almost to 0 here by Rocket Barrage, healed up again. He's not really accomplishing much here outside of just tanking spells instead of Nyx. Who's now walking to the side shop? I mean, Rocket Barrage is being soaked up by creeps, and it's the only reason he survives that. Also on Fly, yeah, just TPing in to make sure that they don't dive Iceberg in mid.
Yeah, and this is what you need to do because Zeus, he's gonna get like this storm. He's gonna hunt.
So
this
good
Zeus.
though. So good. Nyx and Yoku, they're baiting it out. FN with a quick rotation, he'll still lose. The Sand King. They get a kill for FN. Oh, Nyx. Barely, not enough damage yet from no Fuse now. Being caught by the second arm of this rotation into the backline. He's juking, he's jiving! Oh, not again. He'll die now, surely. There we go. Oh, what a game.
Yeah, but
Rada though, up top. I know you want to say something, but Ghostic is in a lot of trouble. There's a raw available, straight up going for it. This time with Rocket Barrage, yeah, plenty of damage.
So we have a quite couple of kills here, a lot of action already. Lovely to see.
7 to 7, 8 minutes in. We like seeing Storms active this early. It's not easy. You have to be very careful with your resources because you don't have the high mana pool, but oh, Iceberg. And Angrada's there, not a whole lot of control throws, so just puts his body in the middle.
But I like how FlyToMoon does this because sure they picked this Zeus and he's very good against 2 of their cores, but he's super susceptible, so they're kind of playing around him a lot. Like also on Fly, he TP'd very faster when they dove him, and now like he's going for Drune and there's like teammates around him, so that's what you need to do against Zeus because he's so susceptible in this early stage of the game, especially against Storm.
Yeah. Alright, so FlyToMoon with a decent start. Empire though, like not too bad either. I mean, FN, is he on the pace that you expect him to be, or that they need him to be?
I mean, he's doing well for himself. And so is Zeus, and that's exactly what is expected. That both of them are just doing fine. FN is doing a little better because he's just farming jungle and whatnot. So I mean, it's gonna come down to what kind of picks can they find, and are they gonna be able to kind of kill Zeus a couple of times, because that's what they wanna do with this Storm pick. Right now they're smoking bottom, and he's definitely getting like involved early game with this Storm pick.
And you find the courier on the way back. Nyx already initiating. That's a long zip. Angrada goes down the road. There's also a lift, but always on a Fly. Might be able to make his way back. As I say that though, nah, it's just too slow. There was going to be another stun available anyway, if necessary. So 2 very easy kills with Nyx committing the dragon form. They'll also be able to do a bit of chip damage to this tower at the very least.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, Region Storm is happy.
Oh no.
And he's going for the Kaya, which is understandable.
Oh, what?
I'm getting a second win.
Okay, Iceberg just... I think was being harassed by the Sand King. And he harassed right back, I guess.
Yeah, that hurts. FN might go on Iceberg here. No, he's not.
Kinda hard to maintain the region here up against constant spam Vark Lightning and just a few spells and FN is down below half health.
So much damage from this hero.
Yeah. It's without the Rubik sitting next to him with Nullfield.
Yeah. Lucky they banned ET, so it's not a Zeus ET Rubik, because that would have been scary.
Just one spell and you're dead.
So what Empire needs to do here, against a Zeus, what you always need to remember is that never... Oh, FN is going lower.
Iceberg doesn't have more mana to work with, but yeah, it was getting scary for a second.
Yeah. Oh, we have an engagement top.
We do indeed. The rock comes
non-stop
through on top of the
fighting
cooldown.
here.
Silent.
Wow.
Getting double kill. Easy. Ooh.
So what you need to do against a Zeus is, in any fight, you need to remember we cannot let Zeus just stand there and shoot spells, because he deals so much damage if he's allowed to do that. So it's basically this sacking and this storm, and if Dragon Eyes gets blinked, whatever, they need to have one of these heroes that are like, okay, they're like on Zeus duty. Like whenever Zeus shows up, I go on him and I make sure to like either kill him or make sure that he can't just freely shoot. That's the key to any like game when you're against Zeus.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to see if Empire can execute that.
Oh, they need some tools. See if N can rely on his ult, but as well as a haste rune and keeps fighting to get closer. Yoku needs his blink deck. He has it queued up halfway there about. He's the target of some initiation. Same as I expect. Oh, the ice was blasting through. Yeah. There's not gonna be a reaction fast enough. Almost when Fly even continues to TP and dies. Feeds. I wanna say he dies, but it just feeds.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to steal the zip, but he got the storm poop instead.
Did he call it storm poop?
It's a poop, man.
I've never heard that before, but I like it.
And yeah, with this pickoff, they're gonna probably get this mid tower, which is a very, very huge thing for them. So actually, that's maybe gonna be able to defend it.
I don't want to give it up. No fear. Recalling in a few extra heroes as you want bottoms also being defended. Empire rotating around themselves as non-grata throws down raw. Ice Blast though with the Burrow Strike. That should put an end to the Beastmaster, but Silent says no, I still want to finish the job. He the stun, but there's his ultimate saying nope. You're going to die, and so is Yoku with an extra bit of vision. And non-grata doesn't even take out. Just barely not enough damage to put him over the threshold. And as a result, FlyToMoon certainly succeeding in that gambit. They keep their mid tower alive. Still lose top as Ghost Eagle was just chipping away throughout all of that.
So we see the like how you can put Zeus to be useful in these engagements. That they just barely don't have enough damage to kill Nyx, but then just the Zeus ultimate finishes him off.
He has the Veil of Discord to work with.
Yoku bottom here, he might go down here. Yeah, bye bye.
Indeed. It looks so simple. Rocket connects, and then he just dies to Rocket Rush. It's just the power of the Gyrocopter, but yeah, Iceberg again.
Yeah.
Oof. Very fast
There's
kills.
skills happening everywhere. But that's exactly why you pick Storm against Zeus, because if you're able to sleep on top of him, if Zeus has no support, he doesn't have a Force Staff, he doesn't have a Yules, he dies so fast. You can really abuse that fact.
Guess he's still confident enough. I mean, he does have the Ether Lens queued up instead of any of these defensive items.
Yeah. It's pretty cocky by him, but it can also pay off if you don't get caught. But it's
Interesting exchange up top here. Non-grata throws down the roll, dodges the Ice Blast, and then always when Fly walks in as his friend already got recalled out, so...
Ooh, he got the Ice Blast.
He did. Can make use of it. He throws it out. With both of these heroes. Another recall here as Silence brought in to 5 meters here to get the kill onto Miposhka. Redundant, yes, but it looks pretty good.
If he didn't get recall, he wouldn't have hit his Q spell, so you know.
Value.
Rats. And FN... FN
is so ridiculous.
Cocky enough to go on. Like, look at that damage. That's 2 spells.
Yeah.
And he's half HP.
Just imagine any sort of extra control. Another round of spells can come out.
And that's without Nullfield as well. That's important to say. Like, they have more damage potential.
Yeah. That's certainly something that Storm has to account for. He go more aggressive right now for the Orchid. Is this a BKB or is this a Lincoln's game? Or FN?
I mean, Lincoln's is certainly really nice against Roar, but it doesn't solve his issue, because if Ruby gets a blink, he can just blink in, spell seal or fade bolt and lift. And we have a kill on the champions here. And on Grata, he can just get an item like a halberd or something like this to break the Linkus. So while it would feel good to have a Linkus for a little bit, it would quickly just be useless basically. So I think he's gonna go BKB eventually.
Yep. What's FN doing right now? Still hanging around under vision as a fireside ward. With the raw committed on Ghost Girl, yeah, they have actually no easy way to lock him down enough. Instead, they make their way towards mid with some of their heroes.
Ooh, he already has tags. No fear. That is very good timing. That is a really good timing.
He has more net worth than Empire's offlaner.
Yeah, that is pretty good. And of course, that means let's go together. Let's get this mid tower. And I don't think Emperor has any business of fighting this, because this Aghanim just makes your fighting so ridiculously strong.
Especially this early, still 2.5 minutes and more left till nighttime hits.
Yeah, I mean, they're for sure gonna farm at least until FN has his Orchid and nighttime hits.
Yeah.
And then I would expect they're gonna like smoke or try to take engagements over and over with this Orchid at nighttime. Because but FlyToMoon, they wanna catch FN here with the smoke.
Yeah, long as up here smelled something. Ice plus flies. Hit me Pushka, but only had the TP going. Meanwhile, the Ghost Stick on bottom trying to do what he can. Iceberg ready to respond, so FlyToMoon does not want to give Empire any more than they absolutely have to when it comes to farm.
Yeah. And on the other, he did go for his Blink Dagger build again. Because, yeah, with this lineup as well, they don't really have the best initiation tool, so Blink is definitely a nice pickup for him.
Yep. One other thing that I really love see teams utilize about Coddle is not just the heal, but also this, the recall.
Yeah,
it makes defending your lanes so much easier, because you can TP somebody out, nuke down a creep wave, and recall him right back into the fight every single time.
It's what the best Coddles like do. They utilize this all the time. Or they even TP to a lane and then they just TP someone back there, and then, you know, when the lane is defended, that guy can TP away or like helps whoever gets that. Like, it's such a useful tool. No, Grata bottom here, he's gonna get go. No.
Yep. Recall doesn't work if you're dead. That's a small little caveat, and it's not just him, it's also Silent. Everyone else from FlyToMoon actually looking to turn this fight, and Storm's almost dead. Does get the zip out. But he's not going to be a part of this fight anymore. The rest of Empire is going to have to take over, but Nyx trying to TP out inside. It's not going to work, and that's an Enchantress without any more mana. No fear. No, not another mana leak either, though. Iceberg just uses W. They do get the consolation prize, though. So they do nuke down Yoku in the end, but yeah. That was just a perfect debate there from Longarda, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly for them. They got the top tier 1 as well, and they defend their own tier 1 and go 2 for 1. Yeah, they traded offline for a core of support, so they're super happy with that one. And Silent is actually going for the Ags build, which I personally love. I love this drum into Ags build in most games. Sometimes you maybe need a BKB or whatnot, but if you can get away with it, it just accelerates your farm a lot. Because it doesn't necessarily work exactly as a DD, but like a baby DD.
Close enough, yeah. Close enough.
Your farming is just so much more enjoyable. Like, it's so much easier to farm, for example, jungle or whatnot. You don't need to always spam your spells. You can just utilize his Aghanims to farm it.
Yep. Small pew pews, right? The sound effect that makes. And Yoku finds a burst strike at the high ground. That was a mistake.
Yep.
And this FN trying to make that right, though. Going in for the burst here. Bursting
nice
one. But now it's kind of low on mana here. The roar comes through. And FN will drop Nyx, trying to buy the space from, but he's not. No! Not gonna be dying. That how many health points was that? Less than 100 for sure. Meanwhile, the fight still goes on. Ghostic also going for the same kind of play, and alright.
Fine.
They even had the Centaur creep from the Beastmaster, but the stone just a little bit too late. Empire, so many close calls, but the bottom line is FN, the highest farmer on the team, still ends up dropping.
Yeah. And also on a fly position, his static remnant that is stolen from Storm, just a little bit too much to the left side, so that it actually didn't hit DK, because if it did, he was dead.
Yep. What a fight here, Silent. Alright, he's gone. The comment that we were talking about in draft, Blink Burst Strike into the Ice Blast. Pretty damn powerful.
And Axe won't save you from that.
No, not quite. Even with the lifesteal. He has that later on.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very nice thing. What I really love against his with Aghanims is that you can go Satanic, and against heroes like Enigma or Void, even if you're in Chrono or Black Hole, you will still shoot and you will lifesteal with that 25% Satanic.
Yep.
And that can make the difference. So
Oh yeah.
it's a very nice usage of it.
It's a late game kind of thing here. You certainly want a few other items before that. Right now it's going for the BKB. Often you see the Maelstrom become yet another Lightning Lord in this game. Only have 2 of them.
He's a third.
Yeah.
And he's going for Bloodstone on FN, which is pretty cocky, but I think that's what they need. They need this Bloodstone into BKB. And Silent mid again. He's getting blown up.
Yes, indeed. He's.
Whoa!
Oh. Okay, he just straight up dies with the extra help from long range artillery coming in from Iceberg.
So once again, we see the usefulness of AA and Sang combo, but don't get away with it freely.
Yeah. It's only gonna be alright if they can get the tier 2 and still defend their mid. This Empire is trying to trade it right now. Glyph already used. Nongrada just making sure that the push is so freaking fast, and in fact they just say, nah, screw our out of tier towers, we're just gonna take high ground. At least they're gonna try.
This is a little bit too early, I think.
If it's daytime, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think they thought, hey, they used Epicenter, let's try a little bit, because we can just recall Silent here when it respawns, but it's just too early and it's not day, and they can just chill. I think now it's gonna pop over today. They can really use that time to start killing the DK and Storm and close down the map.
Yep.
That's probably their game plan, at least. But FN, he's getting pretty fat.
Yes. All guns facing forward with this build here. But so far he's only been called out once.
And I think I really like the Bloodstone first, because while it is greedy, going BKB first is just gonna mean that you're gonna have a 5 seconds BKB way earlier, and you're gonna have way less mana to work with. Now at least he's gonna have this Bloodstone, he's gonna have a lot of mana to work with, and hopefully it's gonna pay off for them.
Smoked under ward. Feels bad, man. Silent is still farming though, he wants these agents.
They're grouping up as 5 here.
Yeah.
I think they hope for them to come here. It is day, so they're feeling confident. Axe on Zeus.
It's Axe gaming, yeah, that's fine. It's okay. The Blink Burst tried to immediately go in, but Ice Blast only hitting on Nongrad. FN trying to finish the job. Meanwhile, Pochka is already dead. And now FN, he's kind of low. He's mana leaked even.
Alive.
And the roll to Nyx, undergo with BKBs, no easy burst down on him, but Ghostic, so much damage, so much AoE being thrown out by the entirety of FlyToMoon. The rocket continues to connect onto Enchantress, and this is a very dead hero. They don't get anything.
I mean, they got the perfect goal. Nongrada, he was gonna go for DK, he blinked in, but he just kind of lost vision or something, and they were able to counter initiate. But even with the A blast, they didn't get him, and just turns around with Roar, and it gets super tough for them. And now, with the constant Illuminati spam, they're gonna be able to get this Roche easily.
Illuminati spam.
Illuminate.
Just full of it today, aren't you? I love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, great series of events for FlyToMoon. Agents in hand now for the gyrocopter. Gonna have a BKB soon as well. It's still daytime for quite a decent amount. 2 minutes to be exact. They can bounce people around the map still. All they need is a little bit more mana, but guess what? It's also something that Nofi can help you with.
Yeah. I mean, having Call on the team it's so good.
Oh,
with the mana and the TPing around.
First strike, stolen from always want to fly. Steals it again for good measure, just to rub it in.
And they have the gem on No Fair now. He has a glimmer, so yeah, you're not gonna have any wars on Empire side now, and it's just gonna get really, really tough to get this fight in this game, unless if you can somehow kill Nofer and get the gem back. Because even if you place this like really like quirky, like weird wards with this AoE vision that you have, you're gonna be able to spot them all out.
Yep. Just the ultimate dewarding. Not just having a Zeus on your team, but also an Axe gem coddle.
That's true. They even have Zeus.
Yeah.
And
No wards for you.
This Aghanims of Zeus, that is really when Zeus hits his strong point. Like, this Nimbus is so ridiculous in fights. Oh my god, this is annoying.
Threw that out down here and just be annoying there. But FN's zipping in and out, the rocket following him to be a little bit annoying. Actually, no, that was on the ancient apparition. Chipping away here with the extra heals. There's a bow strike, Miposhka. Yeah.
Pew pew.
That Aegis needs. He wants to tank this Ice Blast. And the heals can come through. Pops the BKBs. The little right clicks are there, so that's. If I'm not mistaken now, it's not gonna have that available. Perhaps another strike from Miposhka. Then it's a zip in from a fan. Look to Brian bring in Silent, but the roar comes out. Oh, there's the ultimate. Nick's trying to take over the front line. They will fight Silent with the constant shops here from Ghost Stick. Throwing in the impetuses from the backside. Non-Grata being healed up under the cover of Glimmer Cape. Where's the damage gonna come from now with Silent on the sidelines? No mana on Ghost Stick here. Nick's trying to clean up always on the fly. He's been taunting him, sitting in standstill inside their own base.
Oh,
okay, that's the damage.
That's the counter right there. Normally, DK feels pretty healthy at half HP, but not against Zeus.
Look at his fight recap. 5,000 damage done by Zeus alone. Everyone else not breaking the 1500 mark.
Yeah, that's Zeus for you. If you let this guy shoot spells, you lose the fight.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it before, you need someone to be on this guy to make sure that he's not allowed to do that. And they didn't have that. They were focusing on Gyro. And sure, Gyro is a big problem as well. He does a lot of damage too. But Zeus is just, yeah. It's tough at this point because both Gyro and Zeus needs to be dealt with.
Yeah. Dealt with one but not the other. So they hold on to the base, but they don't really win the team fight. FN also dropped a lot of Bloodstone charges in that. Down to 10 now.
Yeah.
Empire, like... in the game plan though, hasn't really changed, has it? I mean, it's still all about the Storm Spirit, right?
Yep, it's all about Storm Spirit and able to get the right go. Probably on Zeus. Like, it's very nice that you were able to get Gyro like that, or like, get the Aegis and whatnot, but Zeus is the real issue here.
Yeah. Same time, Iceberg, he's even kind of tanky. I think 1 or 2k health points, like, Storm Spirit mostly has a lot of issues bursting people like that down very easily. He takes time.
Yeah, and now he has the stun, like 0.5 seconds to lightning bolt mini stun, which is even more annoying to deal with, and that actually kind of works against Storm Spirit. Like, you can kind of lock him down for a little bit.
Yeah. What's the normal stun duration? Actually, there's a fight breaking out. Silent with a BKB, fighting him with Snakes and pops his own. There's Nice Blast coddled down for the counter moment, but without Glimmer Cape, keeping him alive. The roar again onto Storm Spirit. FlyToMoon with a decisive victory here. Where's Yoku at? He's diving up top. Iceberg already used his ultimate as well as his Nimbus, so he will be able to make it back home, but the rest of his team just swatted down in the blink of an eye.
And I think what Empire thought is that, hey, it's night, this should be our like strong point to fight, but even so, it doesn't matter. They're just so ridiculously strong.
Yep. FlyToMoon take the first tier 3 tower, as well as of course the melee racks. That's just what happens with Beastmasters on the field, especially with the Alpha Wolf helping out.
They get the racks and they get out.
Radiant's middle barracks.
And
So
as we
fast.
see, FN, he does have the BKB now in the quick buy, which I do think is the right decision. But already it's like this Bloodstone, it hasn't done for them what they wanted. He wants to be like 15 or 20 charges right now, but he's hitting on 6.
Yeah. Just slightly short of that amount.
Yeah.
Because they keep finding him. I'm not even sure if BKB really solves the issues that he has at that point by the time he gets it. Because sure, it'll block a lot of magic damage, but you can still be rolled up. And at this point, FlyToMoon, they're starting to mount up on physical damage too. I mean, just on the beast master, he can do quite a bit, even without the Necrobook. And Silent sitting for more than 200 a pop, and make that twice with the Aghanims.
For sure, it's like you wanted to snowball with this Storm Spirit, and that's when the BKB is like, yeah, they're not gonna have enough damage to kill me, and then after I can just do my thing. But now when they're 12k behind now, it's not so little. It gets really tough to take these fights, and BKB, like, it's necessary for you to even like. It's just very tough for them right now. They're in a real hole right in this game.
Yep. How much of that is? I mean, we're talking about a lot about FN, but how much is the Dragon Knight really factoring into this? I mean, it feels like Nyx hasn't really had an impact in this game at all.
It's funny as you mentioned that, because I actually haven't even thought about that they have a DK. That's how. And I really think that's just the Zeus against DK matchup. Like, DK is not a hero against Zeus. Like, the tankiness that you usually have, you're non-existent. And sure, he has a BKB now. He's actually had a BKB. He used it 3 times already, and it hasn't mattered.
Yep.
It just lost.
Iceberg just drops him after and Ghost Stick. Oh! Actually, the blinding light almost got him out of that Nimbus range, but like, well, still connected onto Ghost Stick. We'll be able to find that kill very easily indeed. And oh, okay, they also found Miposhka, because Longrada goes for a solo kill with the raw being used.
Longrada sniffed it out.
Free Shine, they're just buying time anyway. They want Roshan for the next high ground push, one would imagine. It's not too far away.
I mean, now with the Call Vision and the Beastmaster Vision, he has a Shadow Blade as well. They can just take it easy, keep finding pickoffs, and slowly but surely just eke out this victory.
Even forcing FN back. That's solo Coddle. I guess it's just through the Nimbus for good measure, but no fear, Blinding Light, Mana Leak, just the threat of that forced him to use all his mana to go back to base. No extra farm for FN for another couple of seconds. More time around the map for FlyToMoon. They have to hawk now on the Roche pit. It's a very long respawn. I'll give an opportunity to Empire to maybe mount some sort of plan.
Yeah, they're gonna have to think of something. I don't know what it is. This game is really hard for them right now.
There's gonna have to be some very risky plays from FN, finding actual pickoffs when FlyToMoon are a little bit too far away from each other, or it's gonna come down to some sort of crazy blink burst strike epicenter on 3 heroes, followed by an ice blast, followed by a lot of AoE.
Yeah.
That's something that I can see happen if FlyToMoon are not careful, but they're the ones who are getting these solo kills.
I mean, it's so easy to play a game when you're ahead like this, and then you have the Coddle and the Beastmaster Hawk. Like, it's so easy to find pickoffs, and it's so hard for Empire to be on the map. But Empire knows that we kind of need to be a little bit greedy. We need to try to get something, but that just leads to them dying even more.
That is Stalls would actually root it up. Again, Blinding Light. Just a couple of spells. No big commitment, just forcing him back, and now just trying to find anybody else. Yoko with the first strike up to the high ground. But he'll still be able to find him. Yep.
Deep.
This is like... they're not even starting to take a step forward inside of Empire. Just being shut down everywhere they go.
We need to somehow try to either get a huge epicenter, or I think they need to try to get a fight where they can like find someone that's completely alone. But you have no vision because of this call gem, and already like FlyToMoon have insane vision, so that's not an easy task.
Yeah. A bit unfortunate time for them here as Roshan responds just as nighttime arrives, so surely they will be able to get Aegis and Cheese, but they will not be able to come up that advantage with the Cardinal heal during daytime, at least. Not for the long buffer.
Yeah. The question is, are they gonna wait for daytime for that heal, or are they just gonna go straight up? I think they certainly can go right now, but the safe place, of course, to just kind of hold on.
Yeah. Controlling the map, keep all lanes push in. You have that mobility from Cardinal, nighttime or not. And there it is, Empire. Walk out as 5, maybe the smoke. They have one available on the aged apparition, but not putting it out just yet, and of course this can always happen. At this point in the game, you don't rely on your Zeus ult, Thunder God's Wrath for vision as much anymore, for damage as much anymore. So you can just use it for vision in case you, in case you're not certain about what the other team's up to. So add that to the list of vision spells.
And I mean, it's a 67 cooldown, so they're gonna have it ready very soon. So it's not like you can be like, oh, they use Susu, let's fight. Like it's a very small window for them to take a fight in, if they even wanted to do that.
Just wondering whether this game will last long enough for Iceberg to get either a refresher shard or just a refresher orb or both, so you can see multiple Nimbuses with the extra stun duration and lightning bolt.
Yeah, and the cute thing, when you have Octarine and refresher, you can actually like perma-stun someone in it, in 2 Nimbuses. Like they don't... I think they can pop BKB, but they can't move. Like, that's a pretty ridiculous combo.
Yeah. I've seen clips of that, even against Storms, who just like blip, 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 just kind of zapping in and out. He does have the BKB now though, so obviously if he has that available that won't be a thing, but now the the robbing use just as DK uses BKB, Silent gets his own, he's dropping so low still! And now BKB has stopped, he's just gonna be bursted, while Silent just keeps the rest of them away with the flag cannon shots. But all of that, the Rex falling very, very quickly. Yoku is all down to him. Swells in the fence will do something, but just the burst strike without the epicenter is gonna be bursted. Does have the buyback available. They throw down that fortification, but FlyToMoon, they're not messing around. Not at all. They're just throwing him all the way back and killing him right outside the fountain. FN is gonna do something here, but so again, we're talking about the physical damage. He just does not have the power. There's this GG. His Ghostly almost dies inside his fountain because Iceberg just keeps spamming spells. Oh, what a performance. FlyToMoon certainly coming in strong here. Empire kind of looked a little bit weak, both in execution as well as draft at the end of the day.
Yeah, just FlyToMoon just looked like they were stronger in everything. Like, yeah, they just did everything a little bit better, a little bit maybe more well-rounded drafts. I think a lot better execution, and they just crushed Empire.
Yep. Well, certainly very well-deserved victory, knocking Team Empire out of the StarLadder qualifiers already here in the quarterfinals. That doesn't mean that they'll be up against Effect coming in tomorrow in the semifinals. The winner of that, I believe it's tomorrow. It's not been confirmed yet, I believe. But yeah, the winner of that will be up against Vegas Squadron, and after that we'll go to the actual main event. So I do hope you tune in for that. Keep an eye on all the Twitters to find out when the games are starting. But for now, eskillz, any last words about the series?
I mean, FlyToMoon, they're a pretty new roster, right? And they look really strong, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they can do. Maybe they can even take on Effect. Effect, we casted yesterday, it looked really strong, so that should be a really good game.
I believe they've matched up together before in MDL, and they won that series just a couple of hours ago today. So if that's any indication, then FlyToMoon is perhaps even stronger than they've shown even here up against Team Empire. So it's certainly going to be interesting. But for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and see you next time.
Thanks, guys.